I've always had a soft corner and liking for the Tata Safari. I grew up dreaming about owning the good old OG Safari someday, and then when the new iteration came, I spent a week with it, taking it to the magical white landscape of Himachal Pradesh in winters. Yes, a 4x2 in that landscape. Do not miss that video. The link is currently on the screen as well as in the description section below. And now this new iteration, the facelift, it's a mega massive facelift for the Safari. So what is Tata Motors up to? What are they doing? I think they're taking a step forward in terms of boldness, a step forward in terms of exploring new avenues with their flagship SUV, and definitely a step forward in upping the ante in the segment. So is this really wow? Well, let's start right away. Now before we move forward, here is some great last minute news coming in. The Safari has bagged a 5-star crash test rating as per global GNCAP norms, and it has scored the highest points ever on any Indian car, thus making it the safest set of wheels in the country. Now this is a long video, but I urge you to stay with me for the entire duration to understand more about the Safari. Of course, you can jump to a particular section on the timeline you see on the screen right now, but once again, just stay around. Now the entire shell of the Safari is the same, but it seems to have gone to both a gym for the muscle and a beauty parlor for the extra dose of styling elements coming in. The front is almost completely new, and this includes the grille and the lower part of the bumper, the side headlights, and basically this entire part of the Safari is new. Now for the Safari to give it a distinguishing factor as compared to the Harrier, this thing comes in your body colors. So in case you have a white Safari, these elements will be white and black, so the elements will be black. This is a nice touch, giving its own area in terms of styling treatment apart from to keep it away from the Harrier. And then the side profile of the bumpers. This is where your headlights come into the picture. The headlight, the fog lamp, and they also have the cornering function. And of course, your indicators are on the DRLs. When you approach the Safari to unlock it or lock it or go away, you have a welcome display on the LED, something we saw for the first time on the Nexon. It's also on the Safari and of course on the Harrier. Harrier, by the way, I'm driving it post this, and of course a detailed review follows. So in case you're watching the Safari, do watch this Harrier review as well. On the side profile, the talking point are the huge, massive 19-inch alloy wheels. These are the biggest on a production Tata right now. But I remember even the Hexa used to get 19-inch alloy wheels. They look smart, of course, on the top-end model. But do they rob the Safari of ride quality? Well, I'll talk about that in a few minutes' time. What I want to speak about is the way the design of the alloy wheels are. There are plastic inserts over here, and what happens is at higher speeds, there is an air dam. The air will get sucked in from the bumper over here, will go towards the alloy wheels and will be deflected on the side, again going back into the body from this part. So Tata has done some work to ensure that the coefficient of drag for slicing through wind, slicing through air, is slightly lower on the Safari, on the new Safari as compared to the older iteration. Of course, form and function both are present over here. The lower variants will of course get 17-inch or 18-inch wheels depending on the version you pick. Side profile, very proud branding of Safari coming in over here. This part remains same like the older version, and just to tell you, both the doors, the co-driver and the driver, have request sensor. So in case you want to get into the car from this side, even this has the request sensor for if you have the key fob in your pocket, you can approach and unlock the car from this part over here. This part remains same of the Safari. The color of course is new, but the bumper, like the front and even the rear bumper, is new. It's got to do with the vertical design theme we saw on the front bumper. That comes in across over here for your reflectors as well as for your reverse light. Again, Safari branding, and if you come closer, you will see that these elements are still present. It's a jungle out there for the competition, and Safari wants to make things very, very clear. So yes, on the engine part, this is a noisy diesel motor with a lot of clatter. If you're standing outside the car, it will easily make itself heard. But I told you this is a mega update. It's a massive facelift for the Safari, which means there is certain amount of changes in the way the engine feels to the driver. Also, a big news, the hydraulic power steering is out. In comes the EPS or the electric power steering. So does that make a difference? Is the engine more responsive? Is it more smooth on the inside? Well, let's answer these questions right away. Right then, on the driving part, the first thing I want to speak about are the NVH levels, or the noise, vibration, harshness levels. I spent enough time with the Safari, the older one, and I can say things are much better in this particular iteration. The amount of insulation that's gone into making the outside world remains outside and the clatter from the diesel remains over there is remarkable. You're driving the car in normal situations, in traffic, part throttle response, not gunning it too much, you will feel the difference. You can have a quieter conversation with the passengers in the second and the third row as well. It is that good. Secondly, the power and torque figures, they are unchanged, but the way the tuning has been done, it seems to be more torquier, so you don't have to really gun down on the right pedal whenever you want to get going faster. That is a good thing. If you want to go faster, you of course have the drive modes. The Sport takes care of that, and this, for a heavy hero SUV, is a quick car in terms of acceleration. Next one, you do have the drive modes, and the drive modes also alter the way the steering feels. This is a first for the segment. It's got the electric power steering, so electric power steering basically requires less effort, especially at lower speed. So if the ladies of the house want to drive the car in an easy manner, or your first time coming to a SUV from a smaller car, or the elderly, they want to take a car for a spin, it's easily possible now. The earlier one was heavy at lower speeds. When you change the drive mode, in Sport mode, the steering feedback changes. But in the Eco and the City mode, it becomes more of a lighter, because it understands you don't want to be pushing the car too much. But on such twisties, if you're in the Sport mode, you will feel the difference in the weight of the steering. So that is also one more change. The ride quality, 19-inch alloy wheels. I'll do one thing in a while. I'll just step off the tarmac. I'll go into a bit of an off-road zone to further tell you how the ride quality feels like. But for normal road usage, for normal route to your work or to your holiday destination, you will not be complaining. In a 19-inch setup over 18 or 17, your sidewall basically becomes smaller. So a smaller sidewall means less absorption of undulations, which sometimes can lead to basically a jittery ride. That only happens when the potholes or the undulations, they are sharp. Otherwise, in your normal situations, you will not be complaining about why you have bought the version with 19-inch alloy wheels. Quick U-turn, the steering is definitely light. So normal usage, you will not be complaining about the ride quality. The confidence remains. If you want to go a bit quicker around corners, you will forget it's a long and a heavy SUV. So dynamics, they definitely remain, and of course suspension tuning is now slightly on the comfort side. Drive modes are over here. Of course, the paddle shifters are behind the steering wheel for you to take extra charge over the gearbox. And the important thing, if you take the Safari off the road, Safari has always been known for its nature to explore the unknown. If you take the car off the road, does the setup matter? Let's see. Alright, so leaving tarmac and going into an off-road section where we have some visuals also for you guys. It is not as bad or scary as what people might make you think, that if you're buying a car with 19-inch alloy wheels, the side profile is small, you will feel the jitters. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's only in traffic conditions when I came across a few sharp undulations, sharp broken tarmac, or even these small rocks which are sharp, then you feel the jitters. But it's a small payoff for what is a good looking SUV on the move. And when it's standing in your parking, if you park the Safari, definitely you'll be giving it a second or a third glance. So yeah, engine wise, refinement slightly up, torquiness slightly up, ride quality has not suffered much, dynamics seem to be same. Overall, it's good work done in terms of the feedback from a driver's perspective. One small shortcoming or a thing I would want to be improved for tall people is that the seat does not go too much on a lower side. Right now I'm on the lowest setting, but I think I am sitting pretty high up. So I like my seats to be slightly on the lower side, which if they can do will be a welcome thing for people who are on the taller side. Seats, of course, they are ventilated, so that is a plus point. Now the Safari has always been a spacious car on the inside, and with the new one, the design theme is sort of horizontal, the horizontal lines, so that they basically further impart the feel of wideness, spaciousness in the car. Like the front end and the rear end, even the design of the dashboard is completely new. New elements coming in over here. For example, this is the touch panel for a lot of functions, for your climate control, for closing and unclosing the car, locking and locking the car, for the 360 camera, also for opening and closing the boot right from over here. Then the new steering wheel, which we first saw in the Nexon, but with a couple of more spokes, also has the illuminated logo of Tata Motors. One more screen, a twin screen setup over here, and the audio system, the JBL audio system, needs a special mention. In comes various modes. You want acoustic, you want heavy bass, you want a cinematic experience, whatever you want, the JBL modes will allow that for you. So a good experience in my terms. This area is new, and then the important factor for that premium appeal is the rotary dial to change between the terrain modes. It's got the terrain modes as well as the drive modes I told you. The new shifter for the automatic gear lever comes in over here, and of course the electric power brake, which basically frees up space over here. A small gearbox which is cooled, also has a couple of more charging outlets. By the way, the C-type over here can take up to 45 watt in terms of charging your phone at a good speed. So that is again top marks from me from Tata Motors. Also, one more thing are the mood lights over here. They come in on this part and around the sunroof, which was missing on the earlier Safari. Plus the seats, they are basically lighter in terms of shade, so more sense of airiness on the inside. One small issue is that the powered seat cannot go too low. I wanted this to be possibly even more lower for me to get into a good driving posture, but this definitely is slightly on the higher side. The tailgate has a hands-free access. I can swing my leg to open and close the tailgate. Now, before I end this video and give you my verdict on the Tata Safari, a quick look at the version lineup. Now, gone has the naming of the XE, XM, XE and so on. Tata Motors is now following a new theme for the version. They call them the personas. We had seen them for the first time with the Punch, then with the Nexon, the Harrier, and now with the Safari. So quick look at the versions on offer, or the personas on offer, and the kind of features you get.
The new Safari is available in 4 main versions of Smart, Pure, Adventure and Accomplished. The Dark Edition can be had in all but the base Smart version. Ditto for the availability of the automatic gearbox option. Now the base Smart starts at 16.19 lakh rupees ex-showroom daily and offers features like these. Next on, the Pure lineup starts from 17.69 lakh rupees ex-showroom daily, and for this additional 1.5 lakh rupees, you get the following extras. The outdoors ready adventure version starts from 20.99 lakh rupees ex-showroom daily. This is based on the Pure Plus version, and some key features are. And finally, the range-topping accomplished version from 23.99 lakh rupees ex-showroom daily. Now this one is based on the Adventure Plus version, with some key features being both the Dark Editions and the automatic versions start from 20.69 lakh rupees ex-showroom daily.
Now, as of today, I've driven the car, but I don't know the pricing. That is the only missing piece in the entire puzzle. The entire puzzle has been solved, but the pricing. As an update, as a refresh, as a facelift, it is work done pretty well. Across all the parameters, it's a smarter looking Safari. It's a Safari with more features, a Safari with better levels of safety. The engine is slightly more smoother. The ride and handling department has also taken a slight up in terms of the thing it provides to the driver's perspective. So in the segment, there are a lot of other options. You have other 3-row SUVs from manufacturers like Mahindra, the XUV700, or MG, the Hector Plus, or even the Hyundai with the Alcazar coming in the picture. So yes, there are options. Some are safe, some are quicker, some are quieter, but as an overall bonding with your vehicle, as the name Safari, we all have been a fan of the legacy. The only thing missing, which unfortunately will not be coming, is the all-wheel drive or the 4x4 setup or a petrol engine. But that aside, if you want to enjoy your vehicle, if you want to announce your arrival, you want extra space on the inside, a smarter looking option, this one even today is a very, very good deal.